Meet Milo. 24 years old, entry-level marketing job, and completely fine with being invisible. While everyone else was grinding for likes, networking for clout, and burning money they didn't have to so they can look successful, Milo just ignored it all. Social media drama? Ignored. Office politics? Ignored. The pressure to have the perfect life by 25? Completely ignored. Milo lived in his own bubble, and honestly, it was peaceful. Then came the trio that would change everything. Alex, who claimed he made 6 figures trading crypto. Maya, whose Instagram made her basic life look like a luxury magazine. And Jordan, who networked so hard it was basically a full-time job.
Milo, babe, your Instagram is so authentic. But like, authentically dead. When's the last time you posted?
I don't really do social media.
Dude, you're literally invisible online. That's career suicide in 2025.
Milo ignored them, just like he ignored everything else that felt fake and exhausting. But they didn't give up. The pressure came from everywhere, tagged in stories he never asked to be in, added to group chats about networking events, sent articles about personal branding.
Look, I'm trying to help you here. My company's hiring, but they check social presence. You look like you don't exist.
That word hit different. Exist. In a world where your digital footprint determined your worth, Milo was a ghost. Late one night, Milo found himself doing something he never did, comparing. Maya's life looked perfect. Alex posted screenshots of crypto gains. Jordan shared pictures from exclusive networking events. And Milo? His biggest achievement was finishing a Netflix series. The voice in his head, the one he'd successfully ignored for years, started getting louder. What if you're not independent? What if you're just behind? At work, conversations shifted. Everyone talked about their side hustles and passive income. Milo's coworkers, younger than him, casually mentioned making more from Instagram sponsorships than their salaries. For the first time, Milo's superpower felt like a disability. In a world where visibility equaled opportunity, being ignored meant being forgotten.
Hey Maya, about that personal branding thing.
OMG, finally! We're going to transform your entire life.
The transformation was brutal. Milo ignored his budget, maxing out credit cards for the right clothes, the right restaurants, the right experiences. Every moment had to be content. He ignored his discomfort with performing his life. He ignored the debt piling up. He ignored the exhaustion of constantly curating an image that wasn't him. 6 months later, Milo had 400 followers, $8,000 in debt, and a crippling anxiety he'd never experienced before. His crypto investment, following Alex's guaranteed tip, crashed overnight. The friends who promised this would change his life? They were busy chasing the next trend, the next networking opportunity. When Milo needed actual support, they were too busy performing their own success to notice his failure. Staring at his analytics, hundreds of strangers who double-tapped but didn't know his name, Milo realized the horrible truth. He'd ignored himself so completely while chasing validation that he'd become exactly what he'd always avoided: fake. The pressure to be seen had made him invisible to himself. He'd traded his peace for performance, his authenticity for approval, his financial security for fleeting digital validation. Milo returned to his old ways, but with battle scars. He still ignored social pressure, but now he understood the cost of ignoring himself. The debt would take years to pay off. The anxiety would take time to heal. But slowly something shifted. Without the constant noise of digital validation, Milo remembered who he actually was. Not a brand, not a network, just himself. Milo learned that peer pressure in your 20s isn't about fitting in at parties. It's about fitting into an economy that commodifies your identity, relationships that transactionalize your worth, and platforms that monetize your insecurities. He still ignored the noise, but now he listened to the signal. His own values, his actual goals, his real relationships, the ones that existed without documentation. Milo, who ignored too much, learned that in a world screaming for your attention, the bravest thing you can do is ignore what doesn't serve you. But the most important thing? Never ignore who you actually are in the process.